Happy time zone, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Good to have you with us this Saturday. Today we got some Link to the Past action for you with the All Dungeons RMG monthly race. Always great to have that on the stream here. Without further ado, I'll leave things in the hands of your wonderful commentary team this evening, Chex Human and Foxlisk.
Hello.
Hey Fox, how's it going?
Pretty good. Excited to see the big race. We've got two runners restreamed today. We've got Malmo, or Super Malmo World, and we've got MM2 NES cartridge. Both good runners of this category. They're going to be doing significantly different routes, so that should be fun to talk about.
Right, it's all dungeons, RMG, restricted major glitches. So we are allowed to go out of bounds in this rule set. And it's all dungeons. So what are all the dungeons?
There's 12 of them all told. We have to collect the prizes from all 3 Light World dungeons, all 7 Dark World dungeons, and both towers. So, unfortunately, this run does have Aghanim in it, but it has everything else in it too. It's a pretty cool run.
We're also required to beat Escape.
We are required to beat Escape, that's true. Is that a dungeon, though? Is that... I guess it has its own dungeon ID, but it doesn't have a prize.
Yeah, it has 2 dungeon IDs.
That's true, yeah. But we actually...
So it doesn't count.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, so we're going to get off to start just in a second. You're going to see the divergence immediately after the initial text cutscene, where Malmo is going to collect MM2 is going to collect the lamp immediately, and Malmo is not, because MM2 is not going to be doing the escape first. Here we go. We're off to the races. So this category are kind of a big change about, I guess like almost a year and a half ago now. Time flies. Where some new clever routing by Blank42 allowed us to do Eastern first before Escape, which has always been... Oh, Malmo actually walks over to the lamp and then doesn't open it because of muscle memory, I guess. Yeah, so you could do Eastern first, which saves a little time but makes the run substantially more volatile. Malmo, her PB is now with Eastern first, but she still prefers doing the Escape first for racing purposes, because it's, again, a lot more stable.
I see. Pretty neat that racers can jump back and forth between categories. And there is a world record route, which neither of these runners are doing. If I came back to all dungeons, I might not want to try that one first.
It's pretty rough, yeah. Yeah, this route is very customizable.
Yeah.
Especially if you do Eastern first, but just in general. See a little bit of that. So we see here Malmo is going to actually do Escape normally. If you played this game or are familiar with the NMG speedrun, this will look very familiar. She's going to go rescue Zelda, bring her to the priest in the back. MM2, meanwhile, is jumping off a cliff to arm a state, sort of interrupt a layer change. And then we're going to combine that with a weird state called Lonk that you get when you get hit into a door entrance into the underworld. And combining those, we can get out of bounds on the overworld and get past the gold guards that are trying to keep us... they're trying to force us to do Escape first.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yep, first try, very nice.
We have a funny walk animation from MM2. It shows that the game is getting a little bit mixed up with the bunny walk.
And then we zap ourselves into the wrong layer, kind of. Overworld is weird. It doesn't really have layers, but it lets us walk underneath this guard. And we're out.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Malmo's doing a normal kind of escape. And I was going to say that why not pick up the lamp when she was very close to the chest where the lamp was? Having it through Escape does not allow you to use the boomerang strat immediately because you would have to menu to it.
Right.
All right, so MM2, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say there's a couple different ways to get out of here. He's chosen the citrus clip. Nicely executed. Had an extra transition, but that's, I think, frame perfect to not get an extra transition, or maybe you have 2 frames, so very tight trick. And opting not to do the optional citrus into Eastern.
It makes sense. There is just a little shortcut where you can screen wrap to enter Eastern a little more quickly if you execute the glitch well, and it speeds things up a little bit. I would be surprised if we don't see Malmo go for it, but we'll see. And in the rain state, it doesn't save as much time because we don't have to wait for an Armos statue.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty hard to save time with.
Yeah.
You have to have a clean clip. So if you are familiar with this game, one of the reasons not to do escape first, or not to do Eastern first, before Blank, dropped everything on its head, was that Zelda would telepathically talk to you every once in a while. But talking to the uncle in the drop-down clears that state. So Zelda is no longer yelling at us, which is why we go through all this trouble of talking to uncle and then doing the overworld EG to clip out instead of just clipping out immediately. Because what MM2 did to clip out certainly could have been done before doing that loop with the uncle. It's just faster to do it this way. Probably.
Right. We don't save much time just having a sword. It's about the text, like you said.
Right. It also grants us save and quit, which matters significantly later. Almo is into the second dungeon ID of the sewers.
That's right. Thank you for clarifying that.
Very rude snake there in the Dark Cross. There are no trackers because this is a speedrun, not a randomizer, so there's not really much to track. Or I guess there is, but we sort of know what they're going to have at each point.
And of course, since it's the vanilla game, we have the start menu for our item inventory.
Right, no quick swap here.
By the way, I love having only 2 items in my inventory where I can just use any direction to change items.
Yeah.
Brainless. But I go with the same direction every time anyway.
Right, same. So I'm to finishing up, or getting to the boss of Eastern here in just a second. Malmo has finished the escape and is going to be doing Eastern. She's not skipping Sankheart, in case you're wondering why we didn't open that. She's going to get it later. It's more important to have the health refill before we climb Death Mountain than it is to have the extra heart container in Eastern. Eastern can kill you, but it's a lot less likely to kill you than Death Mountain is.
Textbook fight from MM2.
Yep, very nice.
And let's take a look at Malmo's screen to see where she's walking. And it looks like it's to the Eastern clip.
Yep, so this is going to look a lot like the way that MM2 got out of Link's house area. This one is just to save some time in the overworld. As Chuck's mentioned, it saves a little more time if you've cleared Rain State, because you'd have to deal with enemies now, and you don't in Rain State. There we go. She's in to the dungeon.
All right. MM2 finds the boots. This is a great advantage.
So how much faster is this opening if everything goes right?
I don't know the numbers, so it's probably around a minute, right?
I think it's not quite that much, but I don't remember. I think that just the opener is like maybe 40 seconds, but if you put all the toppings on, you get up to a minute. Yeah, Malmo's not really behind. She's doing a different route. It is a slightly slower route, but MM2 has to do most of the stuff that she's done. He's just doing it in a different order. He can't skip all that much of it. He's going to collect the mirror from the old man.
Right, and it's surprising how much overworld there is. How many screens you have to transition just to get from Eastern to the old man's cave.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it.
Yeah, we do really a lot of work in this category in order to avoid the sewers, basically. We spend like 2.5 minutes saving 3 minutes of walking, kind of. So when asking how many different routes there are for this category, that's kind of a hard question. I think of it as there being basically two sort of structures that you can adopt. You can either do Eastern first or Escape first. And then you can customize either of those significantly, like getting silvers, or in the Eastern first routes, you can choose to do early hook or not. If you really want, you can be like Yoho, who is also in this race but not being restreamed, and just do everything in the wrong order for some reason. There's a lot of customization possible.
Everything, huh? By the way, MM2 is now in the Dark World on Death Mountain in Rain State, which means this is where the Light World sprites are right now. So there are Lionels falling from the sky and
Yes.
puffball squirrels.
Oh, almost got to be a little careful here. Okay, she'll probably get the heart in this room, I would guess. Yeah.
All right, and MM2 descended to the main light world and can screen wrap himself to find an offset mirror portal that was placed earlier, and this was placed in the pyramid and actually inside the pyramid entrance. So that grants him access to silver arrows.
Yeah, so this is a huge safety in this run. It doesn't cost very much time because silvers make up a lot of time back. Very good safety for anyone. It does adjust the route. We don't have anybody doing sort of the no safeties route on stream, but normally you would do pod first before this, and then do the escape. But since we want to get the silvers, we do it as early as possible, obviously, so we have them to kill the most stuff. And then that spits us out right next to the escape. So MM2 is now covering the front of the escape, which is just like what Momo had to do earlier, except that he has boots and silver arrows. Remembering to use the silvers is in fact an important part of the time save, yes.
You could forget to use them in the middle of a Ganon fight, perhaps, and use 6 spins in phase 4, then finish it off with 2 silver arrows.
Sounds fun.
Something like that.
So silvers are very good for Ganon, but the main thing that they are a safety for in this run, in my opinion anyway, is the Helmasaur fight.
Definitely. And Helmasaur is the main reset point, basically. Or
yeah,
one of them.
Yeah, the main ways to reset in this route are dying to Helmasaur and just like messing up a glitch in a way that locks you.
Yeah.
Momo's now climbing up, doing the same Death Mountain Ascent is the name for the category of glitches that get us up Death Mountain quickly and without the gloves. doing the same DMA that MM2 did earlier to get her mirror, and then she'll be going to Palace of Darkness probably around the same time MM2 is, actually. That's his next visit after taking the maiden home. We see now this cool little tech. If you save and quit after collecting Zelda, the game puts you back in the jail cell, but it has your last dungeon entrance set to this room at the end of the sanctuary. So basically the whole route, the whole opening of the new route is built around this mirror to the front of Sanctuary. See Malmo there yeeting across the screen in what is technically referred to as the Kiki Yeet. Now doing the most annoying clip. There we go. Oh, can't take another hit here. Okay, there we go. Clips through the wall into pod. So the way this game is built, all of the caves and dungeons are laid out on one big grid. And so if you can hit a transition between two rooms that isn't like a door or whatever, it'll just take you to whatever room is next to you on the grid. And it turns out that that cave up there with the Moldorms is right next to Palace of Darkness. So this is a very fast way to get to Palace of Darkness. We call it Kiki Skip because it allows you to skip the monkey Kiki, and it saves you a bunch of time. We get there in cave state, which means that we have infinite keys. Oh, I don't think that was the optimal way to collect that heart. You have infinite keys, and we're in what's called Fake Light World because we enter from the Light World. Normally, you would be a bunny and have to deal with that, but we're just Link in here. We get to open a door and save a key. Just a really, really fast, convenient way into pod.
Oh, we're in sync. Nice high five. So it looks like our racers are neck and neck, but there's going to be some divergence later.
Right. They are actually very close, though. What's the divergence, Checks? Besides the silver arrows that we know about.
I don't know. I wasn't sure whether MM2 does early hook shot.
This is an interesting solution.
And I'm not really sure if that's the case. Oh, does Momo need hearts? Yikes.
Yeah, she took a hit and realized she wasn't going to be able to hammer jump, and so fell down to the nearest hearts that she could think of, which might have been, in fact, the nearest hearts.
Yeah, and it's nice that there are 2 hearts there.
Yeah. Yeah, so early hookshot requires you to have not done the escape first because
Right.
we're going to steal a key out of the escape while we're in Hera. So I think MM2 does it, but I'm not 100% sure.
I kind of don't think so because just looking at MM2 splits, I see Turtle Rock is last. And with early hookshot, it's an advantage to use for Turtle Rock, basically. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
No, but you're right that they're connected in some way that I can't figure out right now.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's generally, if you do early hookshot, you end up doing Turtle Rock in the middle to get flippers.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because.
There's definitely a reason. But we'll leave that to the big brains to figure out.
My commentary is a little rusty. Sorry about that.
Yeah, same. Both players having a little bit of a rough Palace of Darkness here.
Oh, we
Oh, and a lonely turtle.
Look out. The lonely turtle. I don't remember what the condition is, but lonely turtle appears when the peg switch room goes a little awry.
I think what
Sure.
happens is if something to do with flipping the turtle back up with the switch, like he's on the pegs when you flip the switch or something.
Huh.
I don't know.
And then if you're very lucky, you get a 2-turtle lonely turtle party.
Lucky, yeah.
Or maybe just mess up that bad. Yeah, so we saw a single silver arrow shot after the mask was cleared for MM2. Now what we have, we're gonna have 4 hammer hits on Malmo's side instead.
Right, silver arrows are very strong. They one-shot almost everything that they do any damage to.
And of course, Malmo employed spin speed Helma. So arming spin speed allowed the hammer hitbox to be extended.
Yeah. The upwards facing hammer box is notoriously bad. And if you arm spin speed, it gets replaced with the dash hitbox, which is perfectly fine to the north, so you get a lot better reach. So MM2 now is heading up to Hera, where we will find out if he's getting the hook shot or not. But we think probably not.
Find out if he's getting to the small key. It's up to the Moldorm to decide that. All right, so MM2 is going down to the basement to collect the big key. Incidentally, the world record route does not go to this room because it does some shenanigans to collect a cave state big key, which adds this big key to Link's inventory, as well as the desert big key.
And the Hyrule Castle big key.
And the Hyrule Castle big key, that's right. Allowing us to bypass the ball and chain guard, not have to pick up that key.
Yeah. Getting Cave State big key requires a really, really gross clip, though. It's pretty rough.
Yes.
I've done some runs of it. It's fun, but it's a lot to ask.
Right, it's reset heavy if you let it be, basically.
Right.
It's not
hard to save time
race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's much less viable for a race than these routes are.
For sure. So MM2 didn't get the key, right? I didn't miss that. No, he doesn't have a key. Yeah, so we're just doing Hera. Don't really hookshot. We keep talking about this without really explaining it. I guess we should mention what we're talking about. You can clip from this dungeon, Hera. You can clip down from this big room into the first lever room in Swamp. And then you can do what's called an Ancilla overload fake flippers, where you get in the water when you don't have the flippers yet. And you can sort of do some stuff, and you end up getting the hook shot right here. Which is a lot faster than getting it out of Swamp. But MM2 not opting to do that. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of rough
Or
on your
mire.
resources. You only get one chance at trying it. If you mess it up, you're kind of screwed. It's pretty volatile. Or mire, right? Yeah, which is where Almo will get it out of. No one's gonna actually get hookshot out of swamp.
Yeah, the big key of Swamp House takes so long to get to. We instead can use the big key from Misery Mire, which will allow us also to get the cane of Samaria if we don't forget that one.
Right. That's
So,
important.
2 for 1.
So MM2 now is doing a Death Mountain descent. The only portal we can actually get into right now is that one on the top of Mount Hebra. All the other ones require a glove or killing Aghanim, and we don't have a glove, and we're not going to kill Aghanim for quite a while. So we just get into the Dark World using that portal, and then walk downstairs and come up to Thieves Town, which is where we're going to get the second level of glove, totally skipping the first level of glove.
Right, there's no such thing as progressive items in A Link to the Past. So, what this means is, if this occurs, like there's other item skips that we do here in this speedrun, and the other one is collecting Tempered Sword.
Right. Interestingly, there's a couple things that are sort of progressive in this game, both of which actually come up in this speedrun. Which is that we have to have the bow to get the silvers.
Yes.
And you have to have the tempered sword to get the gold sword. Which is why when we went to get the silvers, we didn't just get the gold sword and solve this problem once and for all. The fairy is not interested in any swords that are not the tempered sword.
Right. Exactly.
She wants nothing to do with your puny fighter sword.
Correct. And incidentally, in the normal playthrough of this game, we would use the super bomb, which does not appear until the smith is saved, in addition to collecting 5 and 6 crystals.
Right. It's actually kind of funny that you can save the smith and then go to the pyramid fairy and not be able to get the gold sword.
Yeah. I assume that's how it works.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Thank you.
confident.
Oh, these barres are the worst. They're so difficult to get around, and then if you touch them, it's hard not to fall.
Yeah, that screen is terrible going both ways. This room here in the jail cell is really where having the fighter sword instead of master sword hurts in this dungeon. It's not too big a deal in general, but not being able to one-shot the Zazax is sometimes kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know this, Chex, but Blind is a scripted fight.
Oh, that's right.
That's our trivia for the day. Blind is a scripted fight.
Right. We're in Thieves Town. We should have done the trivia segment.
I know.
Patented by Anders. But I forgot.
I invited
don't have
him
a
to
question.
come on as a cameo. He rejected us. You gotta get okay. Malmo almost walking out without the maiden.
Oops.
So we have a glove now, which we're going to use to lift one object.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think we only lift one object that requires the mitts. But we left a few more things that require at least the gloves.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We need a lift upgrade to get to Cold Stare.
Right.
And we really want this glove to get Tempered Sword next. And
yes. Tempered Sword would be very slow in this category if you didn't have the mitts.
Yeah.
So we're stealing some money from various houses of Village of Outcasts. Oh no, that's not Top Pot. We're just doing Frog Door.
Frog Door.
We don't have the bot in here. So RMG stands for Restricted Major Glitches, which means that some major glitches are allowed, but not all of them. In particular, the ones that are allowed are mostly flipping through barriers. You can do lots of stuff on the overworld and a little bit of underworld clipping, but not the most broken stuff in the game.
So, now Malmo's doing the collection part as well. MM2, like we mentioned, used the Frog Door technique to quickly get the library item and the frog at the same time. But Malmo's not going for that, which is just nice because it avoids the potential of a hard lock.
Malmo's doing a double quick warp strat here, which loses, I think, about 30 frames, maybe not even that much, but is very easy and no risk. Frog Door has a small chance of hard locking you. Hook pushing is not allowed in RMG, no.
Right, hook pushing is a kind of miss slot, and miss slots are not allowed in restricted major glitches. They're considered too powerful, too major.
Non-miss-slotted hook pushes, such as hook shopping, are probably also not legal.
Oh, that's true as well.
We have not fully codified that, but I think the initial temperature taking vote indicated that people prefer it not in this category.
Yeah.
So this is... Oh, yikes. Okay, I thought he was going to get grabbed by that hand. This section of the run, Thieves Town and Skullwoods, both of them, are very close to the NMG run. Not a lot of exciting glitchy stuff going on here. We get Book here. That's about the only difference after we do the Death Mountain Descent. Ooh, good try on the fence dash. MM2 didn't even go for it, so Malmo wins the style points. Fake powder is legal in every mode. Basically, it's legal in NMG as well as RMG. But getting the mushroom is very, very slow in this category, so I don't think we're going to see anyone do that. MM2 opting to Death Warp for a life refill. Reasonable choice at 2 hearts is pretty dangerous here.
Right.
Remembers to slash the Ropa. Very important, very difficult tech.
Yes. So, we're in the Dark World, and we have not defeated Aghanim, by the way. So the game operates a little bit differently, and it doesn't affect this segment of the run. But if we listen to MM2's audio, we would hear Light World music instead of the Skullwoods music.
That's true.
Because the game.
World...
Mhm.
No, go ahead.
The game basically thinks that we're in the light world after we die. We can also see light world pots instead of skulls.
Right, I always forget about that. Yeah, it's possible for being in fake Dark World to matter in some dungeons, but it doesn't matter in Skullwoods. But if a player dies in Mire or Ganon's Tower, they have to remember to mirror afterwards for defeating the boss, or else the prize will not drop.
Right.
Or they'll get Aghanim 1 at the top. Also, I forget what the third dungeon is. Is it Ice?
Yes.
Okay. Also, yeah, thanks for the raid, Zelda Speedruns 3. Welcome, raiders. We are watching a race of all dungeons restricted major glitches. Oh, MM2 taking a rough death and then resetting his console instead of...
I'm not sure I understand the reset, but
I think
okay,
that
the
might have been
splits
an
are
error.
maybe, but the splits are zeroed out, so perhaps this is the end of the line for MM2.
All right, well, that's too bad. I don't know if we'll get someone else on Restream instead.
Yeah, that's too bad. Again, it is a brutal category, and so far we have seen 2 forfeits from our racers.
Yep. And then there were 3. This is really a rough run. Sorry to see that, but you know, things happen. We ran a tourney of this a couple years ago, and it was, you know, familiar. I can't say that word. Referred to as all disasters. Bad stuff likes to happen.
So I unfortunately looked away and missed the Mothula fight from Malmo. According to her splits, it was a gold segment, so it must have been done well, I have to say.
Very nice. You'll have to see new golds.
Hey, chat, I'm just popping on. We're just going to swap runners real quick. Just bear with us.
Great.
Thank
Who are we
you.
getting in?
We are getting in Crystal.
Okay, Krithels and Misery Mire.
Krithel is doing an entirely different route. Luckily, we don't have to explain it because he's already passed all the stuff we didn't have to explain.
Yeah. Yeah, so I am guessing that okay, but why explain it? Anyway, Malmo's getting dead rocked. He has to reset the screen. And yeah, so after Skullwoods, we want to collect the flippers. And a good way to do that is to first collect the Ether Medallion, then just go east and descend off the mountain. And then we're in Zora's Domain. So we have a full health meter to work with, basically, or the standard reset health. But the dead rocks can be so annoying. It can, you know, it can really do a number to your health here, but you probably won't die. In fact, this segment has a saving quit right here.
Yep. So we were talking earlier about the flippers. No, we weren't. Well, we were, but chat probably didn't know that we were. We were talking earlier about doing Turtle Rock last versus doing it in the middle. And now we're going to see Krithel's going to be doing it in the middle versus while Momo's doing it right now. He's going to do Turtle Rock early, basically so that we can combine it with flippers, kind of. That's one of the reasons that we do it. Because Turtle Rock is right there, and then we can just hop down to Zora's Domain.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work in Malma's route for some reason neither of us have been able to remember so far.
Right.
I think it has to do with the Ice Rod map wrap, but I can't figure it out. While I'm also trying to commentate.
Right.
Oh,
no,
oh my
Krithel.
gosh, okay. Whew. There's an
Stop.
eyeball!
Stop
Oh my god, Krithel! Oh no, okay. Whew.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
okay. I'm glad we got that on stream. Sorry about MM2. But that's the kind of drama we need.
Yeah.
Never worried.
Oh, good. Apparently.
Walmo doesn't have the red cane. One of the reasons, I think that you're onto something there.
Oh, yeah.
One of the reasons it works with early hookshot is that you can get Pearl and hookshot and then leave Hera instead of finishing the climb after getting the Pearl. And then go do Mire? I don't know. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stay quiet and be thought a fool.
I'm loving this. The world may never know. All right, so next up for Krithel's Desert Palace. I believe we just before Misery Mire would have been a Death Mountain Super Drop, which if we had caught it, it would have been a pretty silly looking screen wrap, which is like a combination of four, like a jump that wraps Link 4 times and then he does it again.
It's very goofy looking. It gets you from the top of the overworld to the bottom of the overworld really fast.
Right. And so then from there we can quickly open Misery Mire and we're in.
Right. So Balmo's doing Desert and then Mire. Krithel's doing Mire and then Desert. The order doesn't matter too much. You're like moving around world transitions basically in order to have a health refill at the point that you prefer. Versus Krithel is going to be leaving from Desert, so finishing it second just lets him walk out.
Right. And after this segment for Malmo will be after Misery Mire will be Swamp, so that's already in the Dark World. So the
nice
travel
catch by Krithel. I did not think he was going to be able to get that 2-cycle.
Ooh.
And remembers the free bomb menu. Let's go. And Malmo also remembers.
That's great.
So while that pendant is falling, you can menu, and the pendant keeps falling while you're in your menu, so it's a free menu.
Yeah, it's kind of recent tech for this game, speedrun wise, or time, or it's just in terms of the speedrun's history. It's pretty recent. And now, go ahead.
In a
okay
map wrap state, unlike the map wrap to Mire or to Silver's earlier, this one's incredibly dangerous. You're always exactly on the boundary of an east transition that will crash. Well, it'll infinite scroll, I guess, but your run's over either way. So if you move right at all, including nudging by accident to the right, it's game over. So you have to be very, very careful with your movement after that map wrap. But Krithel gets through it just fine. And is now...
Krithel's going back to Pod because we have to finish this dungeon if we didn't do it the first time around, and we don't because
Why is
we
that? Do you think
go.
he just forgot?
Yeah. No. Crithel got the big key while in cave state, and then needed to delete the door while in cave state. But there are no sprites, so we cannot complete that dungeon. And we're in cave state, so we can't get the prize at that point. So instead, we come back at the end, and the big key door will be unlocked.
And Crithel
Mm-hmm.
is going to give us a basement clip. Normally, he doesn't do the second basement clip, which is quite hard to save time with. So he just runs through the back normally. But he's going to do it for the fans, for the audience, for you viewers.
Thank you, Crithel. This is why we watch.
This is the reason that this route is too hard for most people to bother with. This upcoming clip.
Yeah. And the first time around, it allows us to use the cave state big key and grant us access to the boss. This time around, it's just a shortcut.
Right.
All right, we get a nice spin speed from the stairs thanks to being able to hold a block, and we can get rid of it with Samaria bounce. And now we are clipping while in a super speed state. So this allows us to get in position at the top of a rail. Now Crithel needs to use essentially one frame buffers over and over again until Link can get low enough to get to the left side. And it's a bit tricky and it involves a bomb.
There we go. Nice clip.
Excellent. Pretty fast too. That looked like it saved time to me.
Yeah, it had a little bit of extra buffering in the teleport, but the rail clip was very, very, very good. Now, despite having done 30 minutes more of the game, he gets to Helmasaur with less resources than our other runners earlier on. Somehow only has 4 hearts here and no silvers. Nice fight.
It looked like Crithel used helmet spin speed, but it doesn't matter after the mask is broken, because
the tempered sword does the same amount of damage and is a way easier thing to hit with.
Yeah. And as mentioned before, Malmo collects hookshot from Misery Mire. So we just saw Malmo clip from Mire to Hera and then Hera to Swamp. We're in the Mire Hera Swamp dungeon, basically.
Mire also has 3 dungeon IDs.
Right. So Malmo remembers to collect the cane after mirroring out, and here we go. We can now beat the dungeon.
Yeah, so going from Mire to Hera to Swamp is still faster. I just figured it out, Chex. I'll tell you after the sentence. Mire to Hera
I can't
Swamp
wait for you to end the sentence so you can tell me.
Still faster than doing left side Swamp to get the big chest. The big key, I mean. I think that we get the flippers so that we can do Mire to Hera to Swamp. Is that why we get them early without early hookshot? Because if you're not going to use the flippers in there, you might as well just get the hookshot early if you're doing fake flippers anyway.
A valid theory. I like it.
Am I wrong?
You're not unwrong.
Because you have to, and it's only viable in Eastern first because you need the key. And then you can either do early hookshot in which case you don't need early flippers, and then you can do combine Turtle Rock with flippers. And if you're not going to do the fake clippers, then you need early flippers, and you don't have Ice Rod yet, so you can't combine Turtle Rock with flippers, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's correct.
All right, cool.
That is absolutely correct.
Thanks, Kurd. Whoops, sorry guys. Oh no.
Eyeball.
Oh.
Bottom right guy.
Oh.
You got a death from Crystal as well. Hard to believe. So,
Accidental save out of Malmo.
That's surprising. Okay.
I did that once on a restream as well. It's not a great feeling, I will say.
Sure.
All right. Now there are only 2 left. This has been a brutal week. Or a month. This is a monthly, not a weekly. Got racers dropping like flies.
Yeah. And there was so much happening on Malmo's side. I didn't see what happened to Crystal, but a misstep in Crystal Roller Room can be pretty costly. And so, that cost
I
a life
didn't see exactly.
there.
It looked like he was trying to bonk over the roller, which probably means that he flipped the pegs at the wrong time.
And GG to Malmo on the Gold Skull Woods. Again, I'm sorry I missed the boss fight, but I'll have to go back.
Yeah, I did too. I think that I was transfixed by the basement clip. Crystal's been doing Turtle Rock backwards, by the way, which we didn't really talk about. You can clip very quickly to Laser Bridge here, which has several benefits. One of which is that you can mirror out after getting the big key, so you just sort of don't have to do any of the front of Turtle Rock. And the other is that going backwards through Turtle Rock is fast and really fun doing the rooms backwards. You get to ignore a bunch of the obstacles. You get to walk right past the pokies.
Bit of a rocky start for Trinex.
Well, he is made of rock, so...
Oh, that makes sense.
Dead turtle. So now Crystal is going to do the famed Louis hop. And head down and collect his flippers. I actually don't know if he Louis hops or not. But we get spit out right next to where Malmo clipped down to flippers earlier, is where beating Turtle Rock puts you anyway. So it's a very fast way to get to the flippers. And then we're just kind of doing an end run after that. The flippers are the last thing we collect, right? Then it's just a dungeon rush.
Yeah, I believe so.
Malmo is restarting. Oh no, she's doing any percent RMG. Let's see if she can finish any percent RMG. I was going to say before Crystal finishes this run, but I think that's very unlikely. That would be a catastrophe for this run.
Yeah. It is so what's happening is Malmo is doing a different category. Oh, Crystal, was that the fox hop?
That was
backup?
the fox hop. Yes. Very nice.
I thought it was going to be a straight Louis hop, but I didn't know whether the backup was necessary.
I'm not sure. He did it either way. I don't know if it was necessary or not.
Right. So, again, this has been a race of all dungeons, RMG, and the race continues, but Malmo had to forfeit and will just practice any percent instead. So, in other words, will not be completing all the dungeons.
Okay, I'm actually going to take this moment. I'm going to switch over to the other active runner in this race. This is not Yoho, so bear with me, folks. The screen's going to go blank for just a second, and then we'll be good to go.
All right, good luck, Momo.
Thank you, Psycho.
We'll see you at PB Bragg channel.
Right.
I'm not even going to speculate about what route Yoho has done or is doing. He's on a whole other planet of doing weird stuff in this category lately, but he's in Turtle Rock. It looks like his endgame route might be the same as Krithel's.
And we get the fairy from Poke 1.
He
But-
might have done Ice Palace. Unclear. I think he has.
Right. I think so.
It's in his route, but he forgot earlier today once already, so who knows?
Well, actually, yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Krithel now heading into Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace, we did a bunch of work to skip Left Side Swamp. And so this dungeon is super fast. Really fun. This is a really fun section of this category. You get to do Ice Palace and Swamp Palace back to back, and they're both very short, quick dungeons. Very fun execution gauntlets, in my opinion. I think a lot of people share that opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything about that, but I agree. Why not? It's pretty fun to pair these dungeons, which you can't do all the time in glitched categories. But after coming out of Swamp, we are pretty close to Ice Palace, so great to just dash over there and use a mirror wrap to do that. And the mirror wrap is a time saver, and we'll see that soon.
Save, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Ice is one of my favorites, so it's definitely a test.
Yeah, Ice Palace it's very fast paced and it has a bunch of glitches you do to get through it. It's really good. Part of this category, I think. Maybe I oversold Swamp a little because I'm just so excited about Ice.
Well, here comes Argus, so we'll see what Krithel's strat is here.
Going for the zero cycle. Oh, drops it.
Okay.
I don't think we'll be able to zero cycle here, but good attempt.
Okay, we're at one
don't
hit from
die.
death here. We got to be careful. Like
Stop doing
fast-
this, Krithel. Get through one boss without scaring me. Don't.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
That's too bad.
That sucks.
Um.
Jumping right back in it though.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's not uncommon for that to happen, that's for sure. It's an unassuming boss. When you come here, overpowered, tempered sword, over a second row of hearts,
Right.
That's not how the game wants you to get here. It's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be a slog. So speedrunners don't really think about it in terms of danger that much. But it still does 2 hearts of damage from any contact with the boss.
Yeah, the puffs and the boss itself both do 2 hearts, which is actually kind of significant. You don't get a health refill before coming here in this category, or at least in this route. And so he dropped the zero cycle in a way that ended up taking him some damage and was sort of suddenly in Oko mode and took a swinging puff.
Yeah.
It happens. Yoho's coming into his swamp. Hopefully his Argus goes a little better. Oh, Krithel just wanted a second chance to show off the Zero Cycle. I see.
Very good, very good.
Nice fight.
Mm-hmm. And in this category, we don't really see runners go for the fire rod kill because it's very good to have hook shot in our inventory, in our already equipped, rather,
Right.
because we went hook speed immediately following the dungeon.
Fire Rod quick kill saves very, very little time.
Mm.
It does not save enough time to be worth menuing to the Fire Rod and then back to the hook shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it looks like Yoho will be doing Ganon's Tower next, which is interesting.
One sort of has to assume that he will be then doing Aga Tower and Ganon afterwards, but who really knows with him?
Right.
Nobody beating the spin on their diver downs today.
Ah. Oh no, Krithel's in the light world.
Oh,
Did he notice? He did
he
notice.
noticed. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's a tough one to notice.
Yeah.
Not a big problem. We have mitts and flippers. You can just walk over.
So the mirror app is a shortcut, and then we don't have to do these world transitions.
Well,
however,
we got one world transition for free because we were dead.
Exactly.
Yoho also with a nice quick kill. Good job. He's
Nice.
doing the Fire Rod because he's not going to ice next. Missed the Fire Rod quick kill, but that's all right. That's a pretty difficult strat.
Meanwhile, Krithel bomb clips into the bombable floor room, which is a nice shortcut. And of course, the bars in that room are terrible. So they got in his way.
They
trying
are really
to use.
Terrible.
Yeah, so that costs a little bit of magic to redo the block, but he should have enough.
Yeah, he got first try Icebreaker, so he should be fine with this, with getting both pots before Cold Stare. So then we had Icebreaker, well-known glitch if you know much about this game, very heavily used in randomizer. And we have opting not for the stair clip, doing the old school hammer strat. And we're
the
basically at
hammers
the boss already.
Yeah. The hammers were not the usual strat that I've seen, but got Krithel through.
You know what I just noticed? You know...
What is that? Okay.
There's an optional safety you can collect in Ice Palace. You can get the big key while you're doing Icebreaker and then go get the blue mail out of the big chest.
Oh, I didn't see. That is funny. Yeah.
But Yoho,
Yoho has
blue
blue mail. Yeah. That's so funny.
So Yoho now is clipping into GT. We have all 7 crystals because this is all dungeons. We can, enter GT from the front if we want. But this is a lot faster. We don't have to climb the mountain. We just sort of map wrap our way into, or screen wrap our way into the entrance.
Yeah, that is a kind of a crystal cutscene. It is nice to be able to skip that cutscene since it's so slow. The other crystal cutscenes
Yeah.
we can't really skip.
Yeah, that cutscene is like 20 seconds or something. It's quite long. Yeah, as Malmo points out, textbook Cold Stare Kill by Krithel, who is now heading into GT just right on Yoho's heels. So GT is going to look a lot like NMG. The only real option is, yeah, Krithel's going for this torch key. Normally this loses very little time in NMG, and it loses even less in this category. So it's a very popular choice. I think this actually saves time on chest key. Yoho entering the climb now. This is the really fun part of GT. So
Yeah.
you notice that Yoho has very few hearts right now. Well, very few. He has about half of his hearts right now. When you save and quit to Old Man, you can talk to the Old Man and get a heart refill, which costs around 5 seconds, a little less than 5 seconds, I think, if you do it right. Which is what Krithel opted to do. Yoho opted to not do that and lose about a second and a half in that room there to not take 3 damage and instead take 0 damage. So basically paying a little over 3 seconds for full hearts. Pretty up to taste. A lot of runners like to get it, especially in races or whatever. But Yoho, I guess, got blue mail instead. That was a close call, but that Annie Fairy luckily did not hit Krithel. Can be kind of a problem if you get hit while you're falling because your magic counts gets really low.
Yeah. All right, we've got Yoho in the gauntlet.
Picking up the arrow pot, leaving the arrows on the ground, and then not going for the dash between the spikes. Just unacceptable. We see going for the arrow there and not getting it, but very quickly following up with a fire rod shot.
It looks like Yoho uses the menu buffer to read RNG.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It's a good strat. Pretty hard to do, but it's really good strat. If you get to save the fire rod shot, you can save a little time later. Oh, Krithel opting for the new Eddie strat in the spike pit. Very nice.
Sick. Yeah, this part of the speedrun is all about tech and strats, room strats.
Yeah.
Less about glitches. And
not really any glitches left.
Staying alive isn't a huge problem. It's still certainly a concern. But if we can make it past Aghanim 2, we get to Aghanim's Tower, which we're overpowered for. So it's not a huge deal. Of course, we can still die anywhere, of course.
You definitely occasionally see somebody barely scrape out of Aga 2 with like 1 heart left and take a bad hit in Aga Tower, but really by this point in the run, it's not that dangerous anymore once you get past the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Yoho goes for that chest key.
Yeah. Having full magic, normally in NMG, going for the meme hover, let's go.
Oh no,
nice meme.
We fell.
In NMG, normally that chest is very, very popular because if you're getting the full magic, it's quite quick. If you're skipping the magic, chess key gets a lot slower. And most people skip the full magic in this category because you don't really need it for Aga Tower, and you're going to get a full refill after Aga Tower.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a little bit in the weeds of exact strat tech choices.
Right.
But there's a lot of little options like that.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Krithel to skip the key and the magic, but we'll see. Some players get the magic because they want it. Some players get the magic because they're used to running other categories where it's required. Okay, Yoho. I don't know about that. Worked out all right.
So Aghanim 2 is such a difficult fight. Requires a ton of practice and a lot of reaction to the moment. Rather, good decision making is required. All right, we attempted a clip out of the arena to skip a little bit of cutscene time, but we didn't quite get it. We'll see if Krithel goes for it.
Yeah. It looked like he was most of the way in and then accidentally got too long of a movement. Didn't have time to get the retry.
Nice fast mirror position.
No
Okay, but we got hit.
All right. Yeah, that's too bad. It's pretty tight to not get hit there.
Yeah, it is. You have to make Link walk almost in a way that makes it appear that he's falling.
Yeah, you get really close to slipping in the hole if you do it low enough.
Ow.
I can't believe that was a triple. Unreal.
Oh, I missed it.
What a god.
I missed it.
Almost gets the double triple, but just barely misses the last one.
And Grithel goes for the clip out.
He's a little too high.
It looks like he's, yeah. Oh well. My eyes were fixed on Yoho's double spear guards, which he couldn't get an alignment for whatever reason, and kept clinking. Eventually got through. We only have one heart, but should be... we can't take a fall. That would be bad.
If we fell in a pit, this run would be tied.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple options. Apparently a spear blocks a fire rod shot. I don't think I knew that. Mm-hmm. There's a couple options for how you can get through this tower in terms of what weaponry you choose to use. Yoho is using the fire rod, which is technically the fastest option, but it's the fastest by like less than a second. It really doesn't matter. It's kind of whatever you want to do. I'm guessing Krithel is going to be a hook shotter based on the fact that he hasn't menued yet.
Right. I think Krithel prefers using hook shot for Aga spin speed, hook speed. But I don't know. Just a guess.
Generally, people do fire rod if they've bothered to learn hookless Ganon strats and hookshot otherwise, but you can use anything you want for any reason you want. Whatever your heart desires.
You can
as long as it's
hookshot
fire rod or hookshot.
In these rooms.
I'm very skeptical that hookshot saved time. Very, very skeptical. I'm sort of notoriously judgmental about people's bad hook shots.
Yeah. This is true. All right, so we have an Aghanim 1 fight for Yoho. Of course, we know this is a great source of RNG.
Great, yes, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love it.
I actually do. I'm pro blue ball RNG, but most people are not. Was that 3 in the first cycle or only 2?
I saw 2.
Okay. So each additional blue ball, which are the hits that don't get reflected and instead get splayed out into a set of 6 little balls, Each one of those adds 6 or 12 seconds to the run. There's nothing you can do about it, just totally uncontrollable RNG. In the normal course of events, you would expect RNG to differ by like 20 seconds or like 24 seconds or less, I think covers like 80% of cases. Someone did this math a while ago. Yoho, however, has already been quite unlucky, and so it's quite likely that this will equalize a lot here, but I would be very surprised if Yoho were not still in the lead leaving this room. I think he got 5.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is significantly more than average, but definitely within the bounds of reason. It's not like he got 13 or something. How many did Krithel just get?
Didn't count really.
It wasn't very many. It might have been 0.
Oh.
Might have been 1. It was close now.
It seemed to be less than 3.
It would be very rare for Ganon warps to swing this at this point. You'd need a delta of like 12 more warps on Yoho's side or something. But it's going to be very close. Good race.
Yeah. Pretty neat to see both runners at the end here. Pretty close. All right. Looking for a 1-1 for Yoho, and we got it. On to phase 3.
And we took a hit, which might have been on purpose. A lot of people don't like having beams here.
True.
Some people walk into a bat on purpose. Oh, Krithel missed the 1-1. That's unfortunate. Cost a few seconds.
And good warps for Yoho. So already in phase 4.
Can we get... Oh, no!
Yeah, Yoho's been trapped up there recently. Dodging the fire bat and going for...
This is going to be very, very close now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's very
loses
true.
a lot of time.
It
Or
does.
Not getting it loses a lot of time, I mean.
It does. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here.
I'm
Plus-
guessing Yoho still has the lead, but it's real tight.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do this no torch glitch fight. It has to be kind of practiced.
Yeah, it looks
Otherwise,
like
you're
Yoho knows what he's
gonna
doing.
take twice as long as you could otherwise. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. It's just it can be a slog.
Yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
Krithel showing off how much faster this is with Torch Glitch by getting a couple triples in here. You can optimally get 3 spins every time you light the torch with Torch Glitch. It's pretty tough to do, but he's just going for doubles for the most part. Wonder why that is. All right, and Krithel, I think, killed Ganon first. That's so close. Yep, he has like a 1 second lead if these streams are synced properly.
whoa, we're seeing a tie in. I'm sorry, I can't say it. Okay, both runners have finished at the same time, and we're seeing a tie in the race room. GG's.
GG's
Amazing.
to our co-winners, the only 2 finishers, also finished at exactly the same time. Krithel and Yoho. Unbelievable.
That's incredible. Combining this
5
tie with the fact that the other 3
Yeah.
runners forfeited.
5 runners entered, only 1 finish time.
Like 1 finish time.
Hello, Krithel and Yoho. Unbelievable, incredible ending.
Welcome. GG's.
Thanks.
Krithel, that triple on the first cycle of Aga 2 was unreal. I cannot believe that happened.
Might be the best thing I've ever done. And what about me? That great torch glitch that I did? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that didn't hit me till Fox mentioned that that's gonna lose something like 30 seconds and really tighten up the race even more than it already was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not
Also
super
saying
close
it
going
could
into
be-
Agate Tower. And then the combination of 5 blue
Yeah.
balls and no torch glitch. It's very dramatic
Right.
ending.
Yeah, it wasn't RNG necessarily.
No.
Sync it up. Yoho had good warps too. I didn't see a single warp.
All right.
Well, yeah, I think I might have had one or two.
Well, you were on the top, so you must have had one.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
The thing
so we-
is, I had that same thing the last run I did with him on the top over there, and him going far left, and I nailed it. This time, I blew it.
mm-hmm. So why is it in your route that you didn't go to Ice Palace last? Let's say, where is your Ice Palace?
Oh,
Is
I
it-
go from the Ice Rod to the Ice Palace.
Ice Rod to Ice Palace. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Because your route is anti-map route.
Oh, yes.
Map wrap.
I don't do the map wrap.
Mm-hmm. And then Krithel, we didn't see either runner on Restream at the beginning. So Krithel, how was your early game? We see that you were we
So if
see
you
you
switched
red.
over like 30 seconds to a minute earlier, you'd have seen me for the first time ever getting hookshot in Misery Mire in this route.
Oh, interesting. Did you fail the fake clipper?
No, I just didn't have enough arrows, so I got no
Oh,
arrow drops in
yikes.
the eastern, forgot to pick up a pot, and just could not work out a backup.
Oh, I didn't have enough arrows either, so I did a hard reset. I had 3 arrows, so
Yeah, I worked it out later. That was it. That was the line. But
Yeah.
I wanted to
Okay.
hold on, and then and then just went and did the old school
Wow.
Maya to Hera Swamp.
So after a hard reset, you can do 2 bombs and 3 arrows. Is that right?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my god, that's so clever. Okay, yeah. Good idea. Oh yeah, shoutouts to Krithel for doing the basement clip that he doesn't usually do just to show it off on stream. Very cool. Went well.
Yeah, that was
still-
fast.
It's scary to do in actual pod state because I've dropped select buffers in the last part, but it means I keep on either mapping or just randomly slashing.
Hmm.
Because you just got to slide your finger or your thumb from A to Y.
Right.
Dodge the
Yeah.
buttons.
Right, because you can't map in cave state, yeah.
Yeah, super sloppy with it in cave state. I basically just run my hand over my thumb over the map because it doesn't matter.
I use my index finger for the A to Y. I swap grips on every pixel deeper. I swap grips twice back and forth.
Sounds a lot more precise.
It's also exhausting, and I only did like 3 runs before giving up forever. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
GG's. Any other comments?
Nope. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for the commentary, guys. I'm sure you did great. I'll watch it back later, and I'll give you notes.
All right.
Can't
GG
wait.
to everyone that raced. It was a brutal one this month.
Brutal Monday.
Yeah. GG's.
Yeah, I'm not
too.
gonna lie, that looked very
The others.
brutal on restream.
Yeah, that's how this category goes.
Yep.
Hey,
That's why we
wins
need
and
as
loses.
many as people as possible to join, so there's someone left at the end.
Got to be a back marker somewhere. All right, well, GG's to both Yoho and Criddle for race for actually finishing the race and actually getting a tie there. Fair play to both of you. It was very entertaining to watch. GG's also to Malmo and to MM to SNES Cartridge as well, who were originally on Restream. Just unfortunate that it didn't work out, but you know that's just how it is, I'm afraid. Thank you to both Foxless and to Jax Human for the commentary. Please make sure to drop them both a follow. It was very interesting to listen along to. If you're looking for some more action on Zelda Speedruns, we have some Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup action with the Group J tiebreaker between, I hope I pronounced these names right, Ridley Dragon, Lucian Greet, and Aku Heist. That is happening 7 o'clock Eastern on Monday. All the information will be shared on the usual channels. Right now, though, we are going to send you over to Zelda Speedruns 2 for the the Ocarina of Time Randomizer RSL match that's going on there. They are still going after about 5 or 6 hours, so be sure to show them some love and support. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Psychonaut, and have a fantastic rest of your time zone. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.